My African friend explained to me that a lot of Africans don't like African Americans, and that's simply a difference in culture. So let me explain how I discovered this. My friend and me were sitting down at an IHOP at about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I invited him out. He said, "Thank you. I appreciate you. You are very kind." I said, "No problem, bro. I appreciate you." He said, "So you are from Africa, and why you don't have the accent?" I said, "Well, I've been here long enough to where I kind of adapted a Midwestern accent and I kind of lost the African accent." He said, "Okay, okay, okay. I understand. I understand. Okay." So we were talking, and he said, "Oh, look at those hood rats over there." And I said, "The hood rats?" And there's a bunch of black people just being loud and rowdy. And I said, "Well, oh, they're not really hood. It's just they're us. They're black people like us." And he said, "You know how it is." And sadly, I knew exactly what he was talking about. You see, he then began to explain to me, like just in general, what I had thought and known for quite some time. He said, "Africans do not know African Americans at all. They do not like them. Let me watch this." He said, "Hello, brothers." And he signaled the hood rats that he calls them over there. He said, "What's up, cuz? Cracking?" Then he said, "Do you know who the African president is?" And he says, "Nah, I had no idea. I don't know, Shabuki like." And he like did some clicking noise, like, "Oh, that boy from like." And he was like, "Yeah, thank you, brother. You all right?" He said, "Yeah, I know my African history. I'm from the motherland. Peace up, word up." He says, "Word up." See, they are idiots. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, yeah." He says, he starts explaining to me about how they don't know African history. They only know African American history. That's all they know. It's a difference. He said American Africans are not good. And I'm like, "What do you mean not good?" He said they're not us. They're not cultured like us. They are not us. And then I asked, I said, why would like some Africans come over here because they want to be American? Well, they get American money, send it over to their family. Asian do this too. And there's a bunch of Asians in Africa for some reason. And there's like a little subsection of Asian people, like Chinese people in Africa because there's no population laws. It's a whole thing. He was explaining all this lore to me. I didn't know. I didn't know anything about this. I was confused. I was like, "Are you sure this is real?" And he said, "As far as I know, this is real. This is what I know. I go by what I know. That is what I am." Then he started talking like homophobic and all this other stuff. And he said, "Well, think about it. Most older black people here even are homophobic. You know when they say, 'Is he this?'" And I said, "Okay, that's fair. I'll give you that. But, the newer generation is coming out and changing that." He says, "No, newer generation African Americans are majority are homophobic. Same with Caucasus people. Caucasus people. They are also homophobic." And I said, "Okay, all right, okay, fair, fair." And I was just learning how his perception was, and it got me thinking, why is it that way? Why don't Africans like African Americans? Can someone explain that to me? Why is that?